What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Black Side of Liberty. It's your man, Governor Wildstar. Hey, thank you all for chiming in to this wonderful conversation. And our guest is here in the studio, so thankfully we'll be able to have a great interview for a wonderful person who I'll be introducing to you momentarily. But first, you all know what to do. Definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button or bell if you're on YouTube. If you haven't already, definitely do it now. Help me reach my goal of 30,000 subscribers, okay? We're almost there. We're at 29,000 plus. I just need your help to help spread the word. And of course, for you to hit that subscribe button, like I said. So please definitely do that now, or just look in the description and hit subscribe. Hit that link so you can subscribe and share any of my videos that you see on my YouTube channel. And if you're on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever the case may be, please share any and all of my posts. Well, all the ones you like, all the ones you don't like, whatever the case may be, just spread the word and help us grow our platform so more people from the white wing or left wing or in between know exactly what we're doing right here on the Black Side of Liberty to help advance the liberty movement. That's what this is all about. All my nines out there, occupiers, whatever the case may be. If you are an activist, then you definitely should be doing your due diligence and making sure that we, the people, stand for. And of course, please visit my website, governorwildstar.com. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. Be sure to hit that donate tab and make a contribution if you want to continue to see me do this shit for an actual day job or something like that, or to have these continue to come in the near future, since we are winding down for the year here on the Black Side of Liberty. So since the election is right around the corner, we're doing our best to get as many candidates right here on the Black Side of Liberty for you to get to know, so you can go out there and get your ass to the voting booths and vote for them if you haven't voted already. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce to you my wonderful guest who I have with me now, Miss Kate O'Brien. What's up, Kate, and welcome to the Black Side of Liberty.
Yes. Hi, how are you, Nicholas?
I'm doing incredible.
Yes, Governor.
You know me. As long as you don't forget me, definitely. Yes, I appreciate you for being here and talking with me. And Kate O'Brien is candidate running for Parks and Recreation Board out there in Rancho, Simi. So if you're out there in Ventura County, I did some protests in Ventura County, got a lot of love from the people there. So they are very well receiving of the message of liberty and getting away from taxes and everything that we want to do and want from our government. So it's a pleasure and honor to have you here with me, Kate.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Don't let me catch you off guard with a little bit of my craziness. That's what it's all about, you know. Unfortunately, we do have to entertain people out there in order to hold their attention, especially the little pea-brain ones, you know. Unfortunately, like I said, we got to do what we got to do to get the message out there. So hopefully all of you out there who do have a bigger brain and open mind will be ones that are also going to, again, share this message, spread this video around to help Kate O'Brien right here get known by more people. But I know her. She's a longtime libertarian. We met at a few events and all of this other stuff. I don't know how long I've known you, but I've known you for quite some time.
Well, I've been in the libertarian movement for close to half a century, and you were not even born, probably.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, thank you very much.
I was like 12, you know. So no, I was older than that, but not much.
Well, what you've done to help build the party definitely gave me a step up, you know, in my effort in political activism and also to be a representative of the people. So thank you very much for all that you've done. But like I said, I know a little bit about you, but the people out there may not know who the hell you are. So Kate, if you could just please tell the people out there, who is Kate O'Brien so they know?
Okay, well, I've been an elected libertarian now for 20 years. I can't believe it's been that long, but it has. Up for re-election this year for I guess my 6th term. What can I tell you? I own a business here in Simi Valley. I've been a self-employed civil structural engineer for 20. It'll be 27 years in January, so it's been quite a while. And I'm yeah, it's bringing the message of liberty. There's a lot more. There's a lot to it. I mean, the first thing. When I first got elected to the board, it's a long story, but I won by 3 votes, survived the recount. They didn't know what to make of me at first. It was like, and it's a nonpartisan race, but I mean, they say when you're libertarian, it's always partisan, and that is true up to a point. It's like, how much trouble was I going to cause? How much blah, 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 And I haven't, and we run better now than we did 20 years ago. We're a lot leaner. We're a lot more efficient. And it's not all me, but, it's bringing a different perspective to the whole public political elected office thing that's one of our best traits. I think another good thing we do is show people that libertarians aren't all whack jobs.
I don't know if I have to be there. I was about to say.
You're a whack job. I mean,
you for yourself, Kate. Continue. Don't let me interrupt.
It used to be like, and I've been doing this libertarian thing for a long time. And it used to be when people heard the word libertarian, they thought libertine. They thought you were crazy. They thought all kinds of stuff. That you're crazy, violent anarchists, and you wanted mayhem, and you wanted and that's not true.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's definitely not true. I mean,
no, it's not. No, never was.
It's sad that when people hear that libertarians want freedom, they think, oh, you want people to be free to kill each other or to, have sex on the street, and it's like.
Just don't
yeah, they just automatically assume the worst of humankind, that if we are to just live freely without any type of coercion or interference from anyone else, that they're going to do wrong.
One thing I've always been curious about is, did government get huge because people were not monitoring their own behavior, or did people stop monitoring their own behavior because government got huge? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And it just definitely grew out of control. Like my man TJ here says, if normal today is a measure, I'm pleased to be in the crazy count. We all a bit crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if we want to live freely, unadulterated, and especially if we're not harming others. That's really what it's all about. Libertarians at heart, across the board, believe in the non-aggression principle, which is, treat others how you want to be treated, and don't use force to have them adhere to your ideas or desires or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and it's like, I think as we get elected to offices, like we've been doing for the past 20 years or so, people, hopefully the general public will see we're not that crazy. We're like, oh, actually, they're not that crazy,
Well, we'll get there. We just have to chip at it a little bit, one at a time, But I appreciate you giving us a little bit of background about yourself, Kate. And I do have your Facebook right there at the bottom. Just want to make sure it is Thunderbubbles. That's Thunderbubbles. All right.
I had a cat for 100 years named Bubbles.
Oh, wow.
She lived to be almost 17, and she would, every once in a while, she'd be tearing around the house meowing, and we go, oh, it's Thunderbubbles.
Well, extraordinary name. I guess you're a Thunderbubbles at heart in spirit. Well, again, Kate, I thank you for that breakdown. And like you said, you've been a long time involved in the party, but you also have been a member of the Parks and Recreation Board ever since the year 2000, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's been 20 years. It doesn't seem like that long, but it has.
Yeah, over 20 years. Okay. So with regards to the Recs and Park Recreation Board, what the hell is it? I mean, people out there, they probably don't have an idea of what you guys do or what's the purpose. It may be another government boondoggle. What exactly would you do?
It's not really special districts. In California has a lot of civil service, a lot of public services are run by special districts. Fire protection district, mosquito abatement district, hospital district, water district, parks and recreation and parks district. School district is everybody's familiar with the school district. Often what happens now, in our case here in Simi Valley, the park district was in place before the city was incorporated. And what happens, like the county will, there'll be like community service districts, which if you have a county with an unincorporated area that people are like acting like it's a city, they're settling and they're building houses and starting businesses. And there's no city. It becomes a community services district. Oftentimes, the local population will set up a park district or a school district or a water district, saying, this is the government entity that's going to bring us these things that we need, like water, fire protection, sanitation, parks. And people underestimate the importance of parks and recreation, but they are actually pretty important. So a lot of the special districts in California were there before there were cities. 20 years ago, when I ran, the first time I ran, Aaron Starr, the past chair of the Libertarian Party of California, was reading an article one day.
I love it. Much love Aaron Starr.
Yeah. I'm just talking about how I got elected, Operation Breakthrough.
Yeah, for sure. I was just sending Aaron Starr a little love since you mentioned him.
Oh, he used to be state chair of California for like.
Oh, wow.
He's also, I think he was also LNC treasurer, but I don't remember now. Anyway, he was reading an article saying that a lot of these local seats on special districts went begging because people didn't know they were there and wouldn't bother running, or sometimes when people ran, nobody ran against them, so they're automatically elected. He goes, well, there's an avenue for us. So he raised all this money and got all these people to sign up and run, and I was one of those people. And the first time there was my particular race, there was all three incumbents were running, one of whom was an appointed incumbent. The other two were longtime, regular elected incumbents. One guy whose father was a Democratic political consultant and launching a son on his political career. It's easy for me to say. So he spent like 30 grand to get him this office. And I didn't bother running a campaign because it's so obvious that we were going to lose horribly, that there didn't seem to be any point in even raising money. So I said, okay, well, my name's on the ballot. This is embarrassing. And got a call midnight election night saying I was winning. Which was really bizarre. And so what had happened is the other challenger, whose father was spending all the money, and I were doing this for like a week or two, and then he started pulling ahead, and we thought, okay, well, that was fun while it lasted. Yeah. And we gave a good scare. Then they started counting provisional votes. Now, provisional ballots in California, you show up at a precinct. In fact, I did this right after I bought my house. I had forgotten to register to vote, and I showed up at the precinct and they didn't have my ballot, but it's provisional. They'll never deny you the opportunity to vote. You show up at the precinct to say, and they don't have you on the list. They go, oh, well, you're not on the list. Here's a provisional ballot. So you fill it out. They put it in an envelope and they put it aside. And then if you don't show up in the standard tally of voters, then they open up that vote and that's your vote. Right. So they started counting those, and I pulled ahead, and I wound up being ahead by 3 votes.
Wow, that's incredible.
That was bizarre.
And I guess that brings to the case that, or adds to the case that every vote does count. So
yeah, don't ever tell me you're wasting your vote. Every damn vote counts. If you ever want to, send them to me. I'll tell them why. Because
right. There's a lot of people that do.
Send him to my opponent, who's a real nice fellow, and he knows every counts. He probably knows.
I'm sure he does. That's thinking in the back of his head.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, that's a great, I guess, coming to success story for you. And inspiration to all of those candidates out there who are running for office, who think, they may not have a chance in hell. Hey, it can boil down to 1, 2, 3 votes. And
It
this,
could come down to 3 votes. At the time, it was the closest victory in the history of Ventura County. I think that record's been broken a few years ago, but I don't remember the details. But
right. Well,
anyway,
so, since you are now part of the Parks and Recreation Board, I guess with this whole coronavirus lockdown that we're experiencing, the parks have been closed, beaches have been closed, other recreational facilities have been closed. It's like a yo-yo with the damn governor of the state, who we're wanting to recall, by the way. So definitely get involved in that if you haven't already. But with this governor, he has been very authoritarian and tyrannical in saying that we, the people, can't go outside and play, pretty much. So
we're
I'm
still,
going to
yeah.
ask you,
That
are parks essential to society, and why, if so?
Well, that's a good, yeah. It's one of those things that you don't notice until they're not there. Like I've been to cities where they didn't really have good parks, and the whole place looks like a slum. It's like, oh, what's wrong with this town? It's hideous. Why would anyone live here? It's like there's parks. Okay. Well, and that's so it's one of those things that you don't notice until it isn't there. It's quality of life. It's a quality of life issue. It's the same thing as when you go. I forget where we were a few years ago. We were near. We were somewhere. Anyway, we were in California with, now, of course, as libertarians, we don't like things like hillside ordinances. But when you go to a town where they don't have one, the place looks like Tijuana. I mean, it looks like, there's like all these things built up, and then, but it's one of those things you don't notice unless it's not there. And parks are that way too. Hang on a second. Who's calling me? Really? I mean,
I love it when that happens, right?
Oh God. Yeah, it's a quality of life issue, and that's basically. And you don't. It's kind of like when people say things like music and art are not essential. Yeah, they are, and you don't notice that until you don't have it.
Exactly.
And art is crucial to civilization.
Yeah, I think just what you're saying as far as adding to the quality of life, if we start to let those little simple things be taken away from our society, next thing you know, we're like living in this robotic, mechanic type of environment. Like, have you ever seen the Lorax? It's a Dr. Seuss cartoon, but if you look at it, one of the things, I guess in the newer version, is they have fake trees, and we see those everywhere. They're really cell phone towers around, and in this movie, the Lorax, we found the last tree. We may get to that point if we don't start to protect our parks and take appreciation for those type of outlets that we have as a public, as a community. And my wife and I, we love the park because we're able to take our kids there and get outdoors, let them have some fun in nature, and seeing squirrels and all types of shit. But they're great. So again, don't really take we take parks for granted.
Yeah, you do take it for granted until it's gone. It's like so many other things are that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So with regards to these parks and this lockdown and everything that's been happening under this authoritarian government that we have, another thing is they have been collecting taxes from us, money to supposedly pay for these parks and road improvements and after school programs. I mean, the list just goes on as far as them having a reason to continue to collect taxes from us. So I want to ask you, because we go to the park, my wife and I, with my family, like I said, and some parks are free where we're just able to go right in, and then other parks they're charging us for parking, or they have I guess little coin meters on the door to the bathroom, and I mean it's stupid. But I want to ask you, since we are taxpayers, we foot the bill as public property. Why aren't parks free? They should be free, but it doesn't seem to be.
Well, yeah, it depends. Now we don't have we don't have little coin things on the bathrooms. I mean, we do not have that.
Now that's Ventura County. I've seen
Yeah, it's not our parks. I don't know where. Maybe Ventura. They have parking meters. Maybe
I'm in
if you have
Fresno, but I've been to parks in Los Angeles where they have meters on the doors in Orange
oh yeah,
County,
yeah.
Anaheim.
Yeah, you know why they probably do is because of the homeless population. Now, nobody has a problem with the homeless people using the bathroom, just to use the bathroom. But sometimes there's things like shooting up and drugs and things which make it unsavory for the taxpayers, who are the people who are paying for these parks. So, I mean, I can see both sides of that argument. On one hand, you homeless are human beings too, and you want to treat them with respect and kindness. But on the other hand, if they're doing drugs all day long in the bathrooms, and the people who pay for the parks can't use the bathrooms, or they're afraid, then we have an issue that we have to deal with, and that's
Now,
a different. Yeah,
you just brought up something very.
that could be one of the reasons why, if LA is doing that, that could be why.
So you just brought up something very concerning just by addressing that, by saying that the city, I guess, have took it upon themselves to use money as a way to deter the homeless, who they assume, I guess, don't have enough money to use the bathrooms, even though
that would be my guess. Is if they've got like coin operated bathrooms, that may be why.
yeah. So, with regards to Ventura County and them not having them, and or still not having the, I guess, coin meters on the doors, but there are parks in Ventura County where you have to pay for parking. So, but the park is free; it's public property. Why are they paying? Why are we as taxpayers paying double payments, paying tax?
It depends. It could be any number of reasons. It could be. One thing that comes to mind is if we're funded by tax money, property tax money, a combination of property tax money and fees for like classes and the after school clubs and all those. We're running right now it's like 70% taxes, 30% fees. Now my personal thing is I'd love to see us less dependent on tax money and more dependent on fees, which would then mean paying for parking is not a problem. Now, if we are paying for parking, it could be another way parks in general get funded is through grants. We get like grants from when a Proposition 68, a bond issue comes along, that's where grant money comes from. You get a bond issue. It's complicated, and people have to explain this to me over and over again because it's complex. But what they do is there's a bond issued, and then there's investment firms that buy the bonds, and then pay the interest. Then I guess, like I said, it's complicated. But when you have like X $1 million of bonds, some of it's per capita. Now some of it goes to like it depends on the bond, but some of them they have like X percentage toward blighted areas or lower socioeconomic areas. But they have to have some per capita. In other words, some money that's available to everybody, because otherwise, why would you vote for a bond? I mean, you see several bonds on your ballot, and all of it's going to the poor people, and your taxes are going to get raised. Would you vote for that? I don't think so. I sure wouldn't.
No, I mean, I hate bonds, and I actually suggest that people stay away from voting for any bonds, whether it says to better our parks, better our schools, or better our society in general, because we're ending up having to pay for it. My main issue with that is, as good intended as these pursuits may be, we very often see misappropriation of funds, mismanagement of that money. We see embezzling scandals. I mean, the list goes on. So it's like you can't trust government to do what they actually say they're going to do with that money, unfortunately. And when it's other people's monies, they tend to inflate prices and pay, exorbitant prices for shit that's pennies on the dollar. I mean, I've been to places, park benches, or been to parks, and they have bars on the park benches to deter homeless people from sleeping there, or whatever. But yeah, and parks where I guess you're paying to keep it clean, but they're dirty as hell. So it's like, where is the money really going, and what's it for?
Yeah, it's a variety of reasons. Sometimes we had an issue in one of our areas. Our Rancho Simi Park District covers a lot of areas. One of those areas is actually outside the city limits, and it's actually not, it's not incorporated at all. But we had a situation. They had a tree that was the roots were damaging some of the playground equipment, and we had arborists out there, and we had, and without what's the most economical thing we can do to fix this, because sooner or later someone's going to trip, because when the roots come up and damage the covering of the ground of the part of the park, sooner or later someone's going to trip over that thing and hurt themselves, and of course we're going to get sued. We always get sued. We have deep pocket. Every public agency has quote unquote deep pockets, so we get sued. So okay, we have to address this issue. We looked at several scenarios, and the most economical thing was to take down the tree. So okay, well, I guess that's what we're going to do. So all the residents of this area, begged us not to do that, and they petitioned. They said, "Please, we love that tree. Please do not take it down." We said, "Okay, we have to find the money. We have to find the money to finance the more expensive fixes. What do you guys want to swap for? Do you want to swap the parking lot resurfacing, or do you want to do something else?" And they finally said, "Yeah, let's not do the parking lot resurfacing for this park, and we'll do the tree instead." So that's what we did. So I mean, if you end up, if you're going to a park and they're asking you to pay for parking, it's probably something like that. It could be, again, trying to deter homeless, or it could be because they had unlimited demands and limited resources.
Yeah.
And so they had to do the parking lot, and they had to do the tree. So something had to happen, so they charged for parking. That would be my guess.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do support your idea of switching taxpayer funded, um,
Yeah.
support for parks and recreation to instead just charge a parking fee. If it's a small nominal fee, people wouldn't mind paying for it, especially if they know if it goes toward making sure that the park stays maintenance to some degree and that they have access to it, etc. But since we did touch on the homeless, I do actually want to ask you about that because, like I said, I've been to parks before where they have the bar in between on the park bench to prevent homeless people from sleeping there. You go to the bathroom and it has the little coin meter. So it seems like there's a lot of focus on to want to have certain people have access to the park, and it comes from a place of prejudice. You have the city council meetings, and a lot of these people cut up there and they say, "Well, the park is overridden with homeless people and vagrants, and they're doing drugs and taking shits on the lawn," and they say all of this, which always isn't true, but that ends up inspiring those changes in the park. So, should homeless people be banned from parks since they're such a threat to society as they try to make it seem?
Well, I kind of feel about homeless people the same way I feel about illegal aliens. If you're not hurting anybody, if you're disturbing the peace and making people who the taxpayers afraid to use the park, then I have a big problem with you. If you're just minding your own business and not hurting anybody, and keeping whatever area you're in clean and not, then I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with homeless people using the parks under those conditions. But I'm kind of the same way about illegal aliens. If you're working and you're providing a home for your children and being a good neighbor, and I don't care whether you're legal or not. I don't really.
Mhm.
It's all about how you choose to behave.
Now, see, you red flagging me with this illegal alien talk being a libertarian. Because
Yeah.
nobody should be illegal on land that isn't owned by them. But as far as just having a point of view and an objective view, on the homeless in particular, when we as taxpayers, we're also paying to help them get their help that they need. And unfortunately, like I said, with government mismanagement of funds, you don't actually see them receiving that assistance. For instance, the governor of the state, Governor Gavin Newsom, made $1 billion plan to help the homeless in his
I know. Yeah. I'm on a I'm on a county committee that helps low income and homeless people, and it's not a simple. There's not just one solution fits all. There's people are homeless for lots of different reasons. I mean,
Right.
sometimes some people live paycheck to paycheck and they lose a job and they're homeless. Some people, I mean, there's a lot of people in that condition. Usually, it's families. Some people actually prefer to be homeless, and which I think is strange. But that's
To each his own. But
yeah.
if you're paying for a public facility and it's paid for by taxpayers, and those homeless people at some point was paying taxes, whether it be an income tax, whether it be a payroll tax, if they had a business, or a sales tax, they're paying taxes. So they're still contributing members to society in one way, shape, or form. Even if we want to discriminate against them for their life choice, it's their choice. And I feel like, again, since parks are public property, we have this certain group of people that's being prejudiced against and being alienated by society simply because of their life choice, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it is. So there was something I read in the paper that really made me angry a month or so ago when we had that really hot spell. It was in Simi. It was 114. It was like near Labor Day. I read a story about LA, somewhere in LA, where the neighborhood put all these rocks and and boulders and things underneath the bridge so the homeless people couldn't get in the shade. And I thought that disgusted me. And one part of me understood they don't want a bunch of homeless people around. They don't want because it makes people afraid and it makes the neighborhood look awful. But still I thought that's just really mean. And it was 114 for crying out loud, and there was no place for these people to get in the shade. And I just thought that was horrible.
Yeah, and then you also have homeless people that live in their cars. They live in their vehicle, and they simply just want to have access to a bathroom, and
and
from such.
Yeah, it's like solving the world's problems. It's kind of like one starfish at a time, and you just have to pick. This is the area I'm going to work on and try to make better. But you can't, there's always other problems out there, and the world has always had problems, and it's like you can't fix the whole world, but you can start with a small part of it. I guess that's how that works.
If you are on this homeless board, let me ask you this: since one of my solutions to I guess, fixing a part of that problem for homeless people are to build 3D printed homes. Have you heard of those before?
Oh, yes, and there are some cities that have, I think Salt Lake City is one of them. They have realized that providing a tiny home for someone is cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it's more economical to provide homes for these people than it is to have them living homelessly and accessing public services or the homeless services they had been accessing. So I think that's a good solution. If it's more economical, and now the people who like being homeless, you're not going to help them because they're not going to take advantage of this kind of thing.
Yeah, but for sure. There's
living in their cars would love this, I would think.
Yeah, or like you said, that family that's living in a hotel or paycheck to paycheck, unfortunately, just had a bad rep. That gives them an opportunity to at least advance themselves in life, even if it is, a few months or, whatever the case may be. It gives them that step up that they're looking for. So, it's crazy that our governor hasn't used the $1 billion plan to do anything like that and build these tiny home communities or whatever the case may be. But it definitely should be something to consider. But moving along, I want to go rewind a little bit to one of the things that you were talking about when we first started the conversation about voting, because you did win your election in pretty much a very narrow victory.
That was the first time. I've been hit. Yeah.
And there's a
So
lot of people out there that don't
what?
think voting works at all. You know, they just think it's a waste of time. They think it's
All right.
pointless. Just
I'm
think,
having trouble hearing you.
what's that?
I'm having trouble hearing you.
Can you hear me a little better now? Check, check.
Uh,
Microphone.
okay, try again. Can you ask me again what you said? Or say
I
again
was
what you said?
asking, all right. I said with regards to voting, the election, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So there are people out there that think voting is pointless. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Even if you vote, your vote doesn't count, etc. I want to ask you if you, since you said you'd be willing to speak on this a bit further, is voting pointless, especially with this election? You got pretty much two very I don't even know what to call them. Candidates that aren't well liked. We'll just
No, yeah, it's not the first time either, I might point out.
not the first time. But
We
there
had
are people that say if you vote third party, you're throwing your vote away. But is voting pointless? Should we still be involved?
No, I don't think it is. I mean, I'm speaking obviously 20 years ago, I won, but the first time I won was by 3 votes. So no, I don't think voting is pointless. If somebody tries to tell me I'm throwing my vote away, I say, no, 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 I'm voting libertarian. You know, and I totally get it, you know. So throwing your vote away is voting for someone you don't think would be the best candidate.
Right.
Throwing your vote away. So that always irritates me when people say that, and that's, you know, one thing to keep in mind is, what really irritates me is people who think they can change my mind. They think it's appropriate to try to change my mind. This hasn't happened in a while, but it used to happen to me a lot. It used to really irritate me. To say, you can't vote libertarian, then Bush or Gore or somebody will win. I say, I'm voting for the person I think is the best candidate. And they wouldn't, and they wouldn't let it rest, So I have nobody's tried it for a while, but that used to happen a lot. It used to really bug me, and I don't know.
It's still people out there that are saying that same thing. If you don't vote for Trump or Biden, then the other person will win. Of course, that's the point.
Losing the sound again here.
All right, can you hear me now?
Actually, if somebody were to ask me, why do I bother voting at all? My answer is always, I do it out of the respect for the women who got me
there. Uh-oh. We lost Kate there. She was talking. I think she had a bad connection. It's unfortunate because it looks like she was going into a very good point there and saying that she makes sure that she votes for those people before her. Kate,
well, no, out of respect for the women who got me that right. And if you read up on what women in America did 100 years ago to get the vote, it's shocking, truly shocking what they went through to get the right to vote. So I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to vote regardless. If there's no other reason to vote, it's only out of respect for the women who got me that right. That's the way I look at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if there's reason to vote, I'll vote for that reason.
And if you're not expressing yourself and using your voice, then you're pretty much just a silent citizen. You're choosing to be silenced, and you're silencing yourself. So it's sad that a lot of people are choosing to do that. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because you popped out there for a moment.
I have an unstable internet connection, so.
Yeah, you popped out for a moment and then came back. We can still see you and hear you. Hopefully you can do the same. But Kate, I don't want to hold you too long. I do appreciate you answering all of my questions because my guests never know what the hell I'm going to say. So thank you very much.
Nicholas, I'm having trouble hearing you. I'm hearing like half of what you're saying.
No. Yeah, I'm thinking we're having a connection issue. It's okay. All right. Well, that again was Kate O'Brien, candidate running for Rancho Simi Parks and Recreation Board. Please be sure to check her out right there on Facebook at Thunder Bubbles. Check her out. Hopefully, I can get her back in. Kate, you still
I know it's
Can
like
you
a
hear me a little bit?
hmm?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah,
Yeah.
you lost the connection there for a moment, so you disappeared. But I was just thanking you for being here on the Black Side of Liberty and our conversation. I truly appreciate you answering all of my questions as you did.
I'm glad I was able to answer them. These things are fun, but I always, sometimes I run on and don't know if I have the right answer, but there you go. So
No, you
yeah.
answered all of them wonderfully. And like I said, I do appreciate your time. I'm definitely wanting you to win your race again, so you can continue that position, keep that position, and continue to advance liberty out there in Ventura County. So thank you again, Kate O'Brien, for being here.
Woo! Yes. About libertarian.
Take care. Absolutely. God bless you.
You too.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Out
And
everybody.
that again is Kate O'Brien, candidate for Rancho, Simi Parks and Recreation Board. Like I said, please definitely be sure to connect with her right there on Facebook, Thunder Bubbles. Connect with her. Send her a donation or two if you can. Should just spread the word about her if you're out there in Ventura County. Make sure that she's locks in and keeps that position on the Parks and Recreation Board. And hopefully I'll get a chance to work with her as the next governor of California. Speaking of which, please definitely head over to my crowd pack right now, crowdpack.com/C/Wildstar4Gov right there at the bottom of the screen. Make a contribution today because every little bit helps me lock in that those key needed funds. That's the seed money that I need to take care of filing fees and get all the little promotional materials like lawn signs and business cards and just the basics. All I need is $10,000 to make it happen. And trust me, I'm going to make a whole lot of noise here in California. So please head on over to my crowd pack right now. Make a contribution today. Every little bit helps. So whatever you have, definitely give it to me. It's going to be greatly invested into what we're doing to bring back liberty to the state of California. So head on over to crowdpack.com/C/Wildstar for governor right now and make a contribution today. And if you don't want to help me become the next governor of California by way of money, then definitely be sure to do it by exercising your vote. That's right. All of you people out there in California, all you have to do is head over to recallgavin2020.com so we can get this piece of shit out of office right now, okay? We want to do it. We've been circulating petitions all around the state. I think we're over 1 million signatures, and we need 1.5 million signatures by November 17th. So get out there. Make sure that you print this petition off of this website, recallgavin2020.com. Print the petition, sign that petition, circulate that petition in your neighborhood, and then just send that in to the P.O. Box or at one of your designated locations near you, which you can find right here on the county info. Has all 48 counties in the state of California. So just find your county and send that in at one of those local locations and make sure that your vote is counted towards that recall. Like Kay said, everyone helps. Every single one helps. Every single signature, every single vote. So please make sure that you are exercising your power as an individual, that powerful one that you are, to help add to the many, okay? And definitely be sure to join wehaverights.org. Wehaverights.org. We've been involved in mobilizing tens of thousands of California residents to reopen the state of California. That's right. We want to get back to work. We want to go out to parks and beaches. We want to be able to go to school and church and praise without being fined for it by the governor. So we have rights. I did a show yesterday and people asked me where could I find that shirt? Right here at wehaverights.org. So you can find the shirts, print it out, purchase one for yourself. I think you have to make a donation of $25 and you get a shirt of your choice. Damn it, I'm all tongue-tied and all of that. But anyways, like I said, head on over to wehaverights.org and please join us today so we can help Make sure that our elected officials are being held accountable, especially those here in the state of California, starting with Gruesome Newsom, okay? And definitely be sure to come back tomorrow where my wife, Crystal Wildstar, will be doing her thing on my YouTube channel. So please head on over to my YouTube channel. Be sure to hit subscribe and come on back tomorrow. Every Wednesday, the Crystal Room Wednesdays right here on the Governor Wildstar YouTube channel. Or you can connect with her on Facebook at Crystal's Healing Arts, or visit her website, of course, crystalshealingarts.com, and be sure to connect with my wife if you want a psychic reading. And definitely be sure to come back on Thursday on my Beings of Light, Art, Culture, and Knowledge, where we will have another Black Side of Liberty episode and be speaking with Colonel K.B. Taylor, my man K.B. Taylor, former colonel of the United States military, where he will be talking about his issues with the hemp industry on the Flower Power episode. It's going to be one that you don't want to miss, because what Colonel Taylor has been through is certainly awful, and it could happen to you if you want to do something legal, like grow hemp. Okay, hemp is legal to grow, especially in the state of California. And what happened to KB Taylor, like I said, is a tragedy that you definitely don't want to miss. So please be sure to come back on Thursday to the Black Side of Liberty, where we will be speaking with him. So to all of my beings of light, art, culture, and knowledge out there, I truly do appreciate you for joining in this wonderful conversation with Kate O'Brien. Please come back on Thursday, where we will be having our Flower Power episode to talk to Colonel Taylor. All right. So till then, take care and long live liberty, y'all. Peace. Hold on.